Another way to provoke me? Don't touch me. I don't like to be touched. I can walk on my own. Down the halls, up the halls, down the walls, through the floor. Well, through the floor might be a tough one. Take these straps off me. I can't breathe properly. Oh, strap me in. Strap me closed. That is not theater. The patient speaks too much. It doesn't seem authentic. I feel nothing when I see this. Nothing! If I paid to see this show, I hope it comes with a bottle of wine. Because yes, what I see is a patient receiving treatment. But what I need is to feel I am getting treatment. Shock me, scare me, make me suffer. What you're giving me is dinner theater, the lowest form of entertainment. What I need is to have my life changed, to be overwhelmed by a convulsion of my senses, taken back by lights and sounds, shocked, morally and physically. I suppose it's no one's fault but my own. Do you recall what happens next?
Next is the scene in which the blackmailer's apartment is searched for the purloined letter. Your own time, Monsieur Hafton.
Right then, let's see Act 2, Scene 3, the apartment search.
What salvation is there in these frustrations? This interference with the way it has been performed? What do you hope to find? You should be trying to get well.
My name is Monsieur Gendarme, the prefect of police here in Paris. We regret to inconvenience you, but there is a warrant to search your apartment for a missing object. This is simply a routine protocol. It will not take long.
Please, do come in, detectives.
This will be as brief as possible, I assure you. Allons-y, be discreet. No need to trouble the minister. Check the bookcases, the desk, the floor, the ceiling, the Persian carpet. Search everything. There can be spaces hidden inside everyday objects. Things are much larger on the inside than they may appear from the outside.
Les champs magnétiques.
Letters from Monsieur Pascal.
Wood with broken blade.
Shakespeare and Company. I don't see it.
There's nothing here.
Nothing? Impossible. Minister, please, come over here. Please, raise your arms up in the air.
What do you expect to find in my pockets? My fountain pen? A gold pocket watch? Perhaps a few notes for my poetry? I find Baudelaire so charming.
Who told you we were coming? Did you talk for a bride?
Of course not.
Was it you?
No.
You?
Never.
You? Of course not. Minister, you are clever. Too clever for your own good. We must be missing something. I've got to talk with Dupin again. So well. But must be here. Find it! Minister, please. Open your mouth. Wider. 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 Wider.
Stop, I beg you stop.
An hour.
That was... This rehearsal is over. I am in pain for reasons I can't describe. Meet me at the cafe, we will discuss this then, but for now, leave me. Leave!
That rehearsal was positively shallow. There was no substance, no meaning, entirely empty, as all drama has become.
Oh, Renee, must you be so melodramatic all the time? You were worse than a matinee romance. It wasn't terrible, even if there was something missing.
There was a letter missing.
Of course he's right. However, it's not our tour's fault. Theater has become soporific children. What it lacks is direction.
Stimulation. I see projectors, images from lost dreams melting over the apartment, and then a flash of lightning, clouds of sparks, an enormous explosion, and then snails, live snails, crawling on every surface, even on your skin, water dripping, and out of there a figure of... May I take your order? Cafe! Black, with 5 seconds, please.
I'll get a black coffee, dude.
I will have the same, with a large almond croissant.
Coffee.
I shall drink tea. Orange pekoe, please. Nothing for me.
Can I have a black coffee, a shot of espresso on the side, separated in 2 cups, a cup full of cream, a cup full of honey, but please make sure those are all separate.
Is that all?
So, how are we going to rectify this? We must tap into some unseen layer and make it more provocative. But how?
Yes, it was missing something. What that something was...
You know, it really is a shame I'm not the one directing this. I know just how to make it perfect. It needs to be more French, more authentic.
Oh yes, we know. You are such a creative genius, Pablo Picasso. Your play Desire was a different kind of theater. Remember when Jacques...
It takes a lot of time to be a genius. You have to spend so much time doing nothing. Really doing nothing.
But of course I'm a genius. What I'm truly trying to say.
Saying what, Picasso? Better direction? Stronger dialogue? There's already too much talk and no action, even here at this table.
We need to go bigger. The starting us up short.
Everybody knows if you're too careful, you're so preoccupied in being careful, you're sure to stumble.
You might be onto something. People don't come to theater to see a mirror image of their home life filled with platitudes and pretenses. When you write, when we paint, we drive a wedge into the cracks.
Yes, it was missing something real. Something we experience when we are truly alive. When we go about our lives, we feel. There's shock, terror, raw emotion. Think of Vincent van Gogh. No, Van Gogh was not a madman, but his paintings were bursts of Greek fire, bombshells whose vision would have upset the spectral conformity of the bourgeoisie. He turned art on its head by painting shockingly. It was complete. It was whole and pure and perfect, yet uncomfortable. That discomfort, that is the key to the vision. And we need to do the same. We need the audience to be uncomfortable. We need to awe and stun rather than tell another beautiful story. Van Gogh, you cut off your ear, I shall cut out my tongue.
Monsieur Haftel, can a shot tell you who you are? Why talk to yourself in a private language? You can never symbolize the real. Why terrorize your public when you can transport them to a place of reflection, of self-discovery, of catharsis? I think of what I am where I do not think to think.
Art should alter a person's life. It must be convulsive. I want my theater to be, I don't know, to have its own language, to take back its own lost language. It must communicate directly, body to body. And maybe people don't want to be uncomfortable. Let them buy tickets to Folie Bergère or this plush seat. Those who are ready for change will come to mine.
All I know is even if you can do it, then why do it?
See, Artaud, listen to me. When I was a young boy, my mother said to me, if you want to be a soldier, you'll be a general. If you want to be a monk, you'll be a pope. Instead, I chose to be a painter, and I became Pablo Picasso. You see, if need be, as a playwright, I will be Shakespeare.
Oh, don't be so full of it. Maybe he's onto something with this Van Gogh thing. I do own some of his paintings.
We will see.
Well then, what of this weekend?
Well, the International Colonial Exhibition is opening. Great monuments from around the world are being built at full scale right here in Paris.
Sonnen, you can't be serious. Andre Breton says it's culture and decadence. Everything is fake.
Don't be a rhinoceros. The expo, a mockery of Dali's work, of all surrealist art of the world.
Art is turning into science. There are no more poets left.
But I read in Le Monde that they brought real natives in savage costumes to live in these pavilions. They play musical instruments the size of a room. Are you not curious?
The expo is a human zoo, a monument to conquest and brutality. What do you see there?
Doctor, your world is a zoo, and you are the zookeeper.
It's not right. Ernest and I shall not attend, for ethical reasons. Well, I should be going. My knowledge of art ended at Impressionism.
Sonnen, will you be joining us?
No, I will stay. I'll speak to you soon. Jen, you're here. Did you overhear our conversation just now? What did you think? Was I right? Tell me. What is it? Is that nothing feels real? What am I missing? Perhaps, maybe it is the expo. But what will the others think? To go against everything we stand for. Know what they stand for. Jennifer, when I see you, I think to myself, you are the inspiration I've been searching for.
J'irai décrocher la lune, j'irai voler la fortune, si tu me le demandais. Nous aurons pour nous l'éternité, dans le bleu de toute l'immensité, dans le ciel bleu de
What control? A visceral dance that tells a story. Archaic, primal, engaged. What beauty. A cruel beauty. I want this. Must have it. Theater has a language. The body, the limbs, the gestures. I call for actors burning at the stakes, laughing at the flames. The audience needs to stop the thinking and begin to feel the real directly. Everything I feel, utterly gutted. Primitive, physical, and radical. Primitive, physical, radical. Primitive, physical.
You know, the unconscious is structured like a language. You'll never escape it. The man born into existence deals first with language. This is a given. He is even caught in it before his birth, and some find themselves lost.
Is he rewriting the script or making another one of his damn letters to ask for painkillers? Oh my. This drawing is so sinister. Who watches and sneers? Stop, real blood.
Speaking of letters, what's with a dog-eared letter October always has in his pocket but never opens?
I don't know what's in it, but the handwriting was like that of a woman's. Could be a love letter, a confession, a suicide note.
Well, it's not a list of Edgar Allan Poe short stories, I'll tell you that. No, I don't know why he's never written. Maybe for the same reason he never prepared.
Ladies and gentlemen, please sit in a circle around me. We won't be using this filth anymore. I found what we've been looking for.
Can't be dialogue since there's so little left.
No, the word has undermined theater's original intentions. Words are limitations in this art. We must use everything at our disposal, gestures, screams, light and darkness, to create a new theater. The new theater will turn words into incantations. Gestures must admire life, to exalt, to charm, to arrest the senses. I want to feel energy physically passing through me, jolting me with a sudden and unexpected electricity.
Have we lost the elements of the strange, the irrational? We are artists. Why pattern and rhythm? Art must shock the mind and seize the eye.
No, Dolly, life beats like a heart. It is raw rhythm, raw gesture, raw dancing. If people wanted words, they would go to Shakespeare. They come here to feel, to finally feel something. To feel the beat as it passes through them, as it passes through the scene. To awaken in them something base and primal. Something finally real.
Artaud, it just seems so primitive.
Peggy, don't speak. There are no time for words. We will draw on the unconscious, the body and dreams. It is not something I can tell or teach you. You must just become. Quickly.
Mr. D, we have come to search your apartment for a missing object. A letter. Please, step aside. This will be brief and objective. You all know procedure. Begin now. Nothing here? Nothing empty? Search it!
What do you expect to find? Seems you don't understand me. You have gestures, but no passion. How can you expect to affect the life of the audience if they do not see what you see and feel what you feel? You will hear from me shortly. For now, leave. Good morning, Minister D. Sorry to inconvenience you, but we have a warrant to search your apartment for the missing document. Protocol, you understand? No, why would I apologize? Yes, of course, detective. Do what you must. Please come in. Please! He's practically trespassing. This needs more. It's... Please look at this. Tell me, what is missing? Is it the actors? Do they lack passion? Must I replace them? No, that's silly. But is it me? Is it the play? Please say something. Wait, no, I must figure this out on my own. Is it the lights? What about the lights? Must they be replaced? Should they fall on the detective? That doesn't even deserve an answer. Jenica, don't say anything. No, please, Jenica, there's no time for words. There's too many. Sacred grace. The Tara Muhara may hold their peyote ritual at any time of the year and incorporate it into established festivals. That's like a play within a play. The ceremonial consists of primitive tribal dances and worship, followed by a day of sacrifices. Oak and pine logs are dragged in for a fire and oriented in an east-west direction. The Tara Muhara name for this worship means circling about the fire, and except for the peyote itself, the fire is the most important element.
Another tree trunk is placed near the first, and the fire is lighted in the middle of the circle. When I approached in order to discern the nature of its burning center, I perceived an incredible network of tiny bells, some of silver, others of horn, attached to leather straps, which were also awaiting the moment for their ritual use. 10 crosses in the circle, and 10 mirrors. One beam with 3 sorcerers on it, 4 priests, 2 males and 2 females, the epileptic dancer, and myself, for whom the rite was being performed. At the foot of each sorcerer, one hole, at the bottom of which was the peyote plant, and the hole with a wooden or earthen basin inverted over it represents the globe of the world. On the basin, the sorcerers rasp the mixture. Our leader sits west of the fire, and a cross may be erected opposite of him. Close by the shaman's seat, they dig a hole. As soon as the shaman has seated himself, he takes a round drinking gourd, and by pressing his shrimp firmly into the soil and turning the vessel round, makes a circular mark. Lifting up the bowl again, he draws 2 diametrical lines at right angles in the circle, and thus produces a symbol of the world.
Esse forastero não é bien, e o peyote é muito potente. Poderia matá-lo.
La visión de peyote habla de la cruz de alma de hombre que entra al ritual sin haberse iniciado.
Mas nuestro hermano forastero es un soñador y un hombre santo que ve el futuro. Vamos a iniciarlo.
Un Dios peligroso trae este bastón sagrado a través de mares distantes. Un día, un extraño deberá devolverlo a su hogar.
Is this step for me?
Ven. Pronto caminarás en el cielo con los dioses.
Neither the images of their thundering poems, nor the hieroglyphs of their gods, still armed, still thundering, have exhausted their spiritual ascendancy. It is the same blood that continues to speak.
A letter?
What do you mean, the letter?
I thought it was nothing that, but now I understand it means everything.
You really think that letter can save you?
Actors, friends, the performance will be different. I made a critical change, an urgent reflection of what it once was. We will be using this letter as the purloined letter. What we were missing was an icon to stand in for the thrill of the search, to take what is someone else's and liberate it from its purloined state.
Naruto, I could have told you a letter was important in a play about a missing letter. What is it that makes this letter so profound?
Besides, isn't that one of the nonsense prop letters? What importance could a prop possibly have to you?
This letter means everything to me and the production. It is the missing reel. Think of what it represents, how it is we come to acquire it, an act of desperation, sacrifice, pain, gives it character, and transforms it to be the most important actor in the play.
If nothing else, I admire your enthusiasm, Archer. Despite this, your rose is still a rose.
No, Dali understands this symbol. It is an expression of our desire to possess the unknown, to finally hold what it is we long for. We put ourselves in harm's way, our bodies, our sanity, to finally gain even one glimmer of hope of holding it, even if just for a moment.
Precisely. Except it is more than a mere symbol. This relic inspires extremes, provokes violence. Wars have been waged over such icons.
Is this what you strive for, then? To wage wars over theater? We stand on the shoulders of giants, Artaud. Best not to disturb them.
I must wage war over theater. Not to the violence of the cause. That is a means to an end. But as a necessary cruelty. This new script speaks to the urgency and desperation of reclaiming a sacred artifact. Let the giants be disturbed. Our search justifies any violence. It is ritual and sacred. So let us create a new theater. A theater of cruelty. Quickly! How many times? On the line.
There's nothing to say now. No way out, no exit. We know you have it. Search everything. Nothing here? You are clever, Minister. Now tell me, where is the letter? Perhaps it's hidden by those we least suspect. Search them! That letter.
It was you!
Get up!
You're an accomplice to the theft, aren't you? Now stand up and stay
tell me.
quiet.
How much did this minister pay you to help out in his little scheme?
What are you talking about?
The letter. Hand it over. In this jacket. Perhaps.
Stop it! Why are you doing this? Are you crazy?
Because he has the letter, you fraudulent lunatic.
What's the deal with this letter?
Nobody is going to leave here here before I have my hands on that letter. It is of the utmost importance that you find the letter in this apartment. Don't you get it, Dolly? If I am to choose between meaning and existence, I choose meaning. Here, give me the letter. I will show you how this is done. Give it to me.
Meaning. I see. But what's in it for you? Somebody please, pass me the letter. I don't need that for a moment.
I don't have the letter. Artaud, perhaps you can recognize your message in all this mess. Gertrude?
Sure, I like the view, but I like to sit with my back turned to it.
Does nobody actually have the letter? And it must have gone missing. But Artaud, it was just a prop. It wasn't a real letter.
I did have handwriting on the envelope myself.
There's so much paper everywhere. Let's just find some.
You lost the letter I gave you. You stole my letter. My real letter. Just physical, you say. But without the letter, the message is lost. How could you do such a thing? To lose the only thing that gave my world meaning. I never even opened it. I never got to read why she. It is lost forever. And my Starry Night was lost before its beauty could be admired, its mystery unraveled. How could you all to betray me on the eve of my ascension?
So wake up. Your letter is misplaced, yes, but it's not our fault. You are the one who put a hole in this world. Don't lower yourself to groveling like a madman, looking for some blotchy object to center your universe.
What an endless maze of staircases and hallways are filled. Room after room, mirrors everywhere. Will you stop at nothing? Long repressed family secrets. Where's the boy, Gregory? Symbolic formation depends on the patient knowing some fundamental truth about himself. And yet, a patient can come to know too much, and pays in blood for this surplus knowledge. Self-knowledge is plainly an illusion. Man is the only animal capable of recognizing the reflected image of his body as himself. This applies whether he recognizes himself in a letter, a mirror, or a room. You are obsessed, Mr. Nobody, Mr. I am dead. You will live for 80 years without writing a single sentence. You are obsessed.
Don't touch me, it was all fiction. Don't touch me, get out of here. Get out! I don't know why I love you, don't you understand? I never even opened your letter. Now it's gone. The theater of cruelty has failed. It's over. Wait, I am so sorry. Don't leave me yet. Don't leave me alone in this place. I am so alone. Don't leave me alone with myself. Don't leave me with him.
What a spectacle, Monsieur Artaud. You ought to take a look at yourself. Tear a letter in pieces, it remains the letter that it is. The contents don't matter, the text is irrelevant. A psychotic is a patient who is not duped by the symbolic order, but sees the world to be one vast mise en scène. This performance has no meaning to anyone but you. You've turned it empty. You rely on its imaginary contents to say something more. Such communication is not transmissible in symbolic form. It may be found only in your relation with the object, and that isn't something you can relay.
Leave me alone. I need morphine to quell this pain. I don't understand anything you say.
But perhaps now you understand what Poe meant to say with his letter. It isn't the letter's contents that matter, no matter how perverse. Only that the letter is gone. It is a signifier of absence, and that is enough to relay its importance. Writing scattered to the winds in an onslaught of blank pages, and were they not such flying leaves, there would be no purloined letters. You are not well, Arto. There is no woman. I believe you took that letter yourself. Admit it! Admit that you're obsessed, that you need help. If you don't recognize this, you will be here forever. You'll never write again. You are ill and you need help. Admit that you're obsessed.
I'm obsessed.
Again and louder.
I'm obsessed.
Again.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed.
Well, then you know what you must do.
Going to the theater should be like going to the dentist. You probably won't die from it, but there's a degree of trauma.
What a spectacle, Monsieur Hacto. You ought to take a look at yourself. Tear a letter in pieces, it remains the letter that it is, Monsieur Hacto. The contents don't take a look at yourself. A psychotic is a patient who's not in pieces, it remains the letter that it sees the world to be one vast text is irrelevant. This performance has no meaning to anyone but you. You've turned it empty. Writing rely on its imaginary contents to say turned it empty. You rely on its imaginary contents to say empty. You rely on its imaginary contents to say reachable in symbolic form. Such can may be found only in your relation with the object. It may be found only in your relation with an onslaught of blame with his letter. It isn't the letter's contents that matter, no matter how perverse. You'll never write a letter not well, Arto. You are a signifier of absence, and that admit that you're obsessed.
The theater will never find itself again, except by furnishing the spectator with the truthful precipitates of dreams, in which his taste for crime, his erotic obsessions, his savagery, even his cannibalism pour out, on a level not counterfeit and illusory, but grotesquely and irreducibly real.